Number one of my class.
Good afternoon, good evening, YouTube. Cuts by Dre, New Styles Mobile Barber, and I'm back in the lab for another tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about highlighting. Highlighting, man. Highlights have taken over the barber industry, especially on YouTube. Everybody is using highlights. I myself, old school barber, been in the game for 30 plus years, a business owner for 30 plus years. And as many of you older barbers know, the highlight game was not out a while back. You know, we had to perfect our cuts with the tools we had, get them hairlines as sharp as possible, make the cut look as best as you can with the tools that you were provided to cut with. Now we're in a new millennium, new generations, new tools, new technology, and these highlights have came out, and I'm not knocking them. You know, I'm an old school barber, but I do get down with new technology. I do try to keep up with the trends. So I'm not knocking anybody that uses highlights. I just say don't overly use them. Don't push them to the edge. Don't push them to the limit. Let your creativity, let your talent shine through first, and use highlights as exactly what they call, just to highlight a little bit, put on a little bit of makeup for a client. But since we're talking about that, I'm going to kind of give you my best tutorial on what I think is the best way to go or the best tool to use when using highlights. I myself, I have used a lot of different highlights in the past, and I'm sure all you barbers out there have used different techniques and have been frustrated because none of them seem to be all that consistent. You know, we started out with, me personally, I started out with just the brush in highlights where you just dab a little on your brush. Then we moved up to the airbrush machines, the plug-in airbrush machines, and now everything's going cordless. We cut the cords, and now we're going with the cordless machine. So this is going to be in my view of what I think the best method that you should use, or the best machine that you could use to do the highlights on your customer. And first, we're going to talk about this baby right here. This is called the Spray and Slay. I got this from the Barber Plug. $99, $100, $100 pretty much. It looked impressive. You know, this is the last one I got. Looked very impressive. It came in sleek packaging, black and gold. Didn't have a lot of adjustments that it didn't look like, you know. So I picked this up because I was like, you know, I've had this one here for a while. Sorry to jump over real quick, but I want to compare the two. I had this one for a while. Bought this one off Amazon. Not sure the name, but came off of Amazon. Your basic compressor airbrush. It is cordless. The button is underneath it. Has a couple of levels as well. But back to this one right here. Not even knowing the name of this thing. It's just called the I Love Being a Barber Cordless Airbrush Spray and Slay. Looked very impressive, so I picked it up. It does come in a charging dock. It's cordless. You just sit it on the dock and it charges up on its own. You know, you do have to plug the dock in through a USB outlet, but it's real sleek. One thing that I did notice about it, it did not have as much power, you know, as much power as this one I got off of Amazon. This one off of Amazon was about $70. This one here was $100. Was not as powerful. Of course, I only had this one here about a week, so I can't give you the longevity of it. I can't tell you how long it lasts in a long run. But for this tutorial, if you can see how far that's spraying out right there, how far the spray is, and if you can hear how loud it is, it's not bad. I worked with it this week. It did give me a nice, smooth overlay of the dye. I use Tomb 45's No Drip because I noticed when you try to mix your own solution up, when you try to use some Kiss and alcohol mix, you know, it's very difficult to get that correct mix without clogging up the machine. So I started using Tomb 45 No Drip. Although it's a lot more expensive than buying the kits, you don't have to worry about clogging the machine, and it gives you a pretty consistent flow, in your airbrush gun. This one here, like I said, got it off Amazon. Traditional airbrush on top, has all the components that a traditional airbrush does. You can take it apart, you can clean it, which is good, and it also has a trigger on it. The button's underneath, and if you can hear that, much stronger compression. You see how far that's spraying? Is much stronger. It has two different levels of spraying. Two different levels. So it has a high for a high spray and a low, which gives you a little bit lower spray. So I did like that a lot. I've been using this one here now for, over a year. And keeping it clean, I always run alcohol through it at the end of the day. I've never actually taken it apart, but I do run alcohol through it, and it lasts pretty good. So if my opinion, I would go, if you definitely want to go with the airbrush, I would go with the Amazon version. I'm not sure what it's called. You can take a good look picture of it. It's a metal chassis here. So you just go on Amazon, look at the picture. They're all pretty much similar. This one here, if you like the way it looks, if you want to be stylish, definitely get it. I'll come back to you a little later on with a review on this. It does spray, gives you a nice flow, but it's just not as strong. Only has one level of spray. No matter how I hit the button, it only really has one level. Hit it, comes out. Now, if you want to move to an even cheaper version, they now have out these sprays. These sprays been out, but they're improving them over time. This is called a titanium. This is also by Kiss. This is a Kiss product. It's called titanium, titation, not titanium, tentation, tentation. And it's only about $12 a can. Lasts quite a long time. The only thing I don't like about these cans, and I won't spray them in my lab, I'll spray it into the cup. The spray is not consistent. If you get a good can, shake it up well, and you get a good can, you can get a real good highlight with this. But every can is not consistent. That's what led me to go back to the airbrushing, because sometimes you can spray this and you can just spray a big blot of paint on the customer's head, and then you got a mess to clean up. They're hard to come off because they're waterproof. You can actually ruin a haircut, which I have done with these. Just totally ruin the haircut after you done spent your time perfecting the haircut. You want to highlight it, you spray it with this, and you could ruin the entire cut. Got to take them to the shampoo bowl and try to wash this stuff out, which is not easily washable out. When they say it's waterproof, they really mean it's waterproof. You can't wash this out easily. Several washes with a lot of shampoo to get this stuff completely out of your hair. So keep that in mind when you want to go to the spray kind. And they do have other sprays out, but I found that this was the best spray that was on the market because of the slim nozzle. This was the best one. So if you're in a rush and you get a good can, hey, I recommend you go get this. It's called Red by Kiss. The Temptation is what it's called. Fairly cheap. They got a smaller bottle of this. This one here is $12 for this big can. I think the smaller cans are like $6, half the size of this. The way to go, but only if you get a good can. I professionally try to steer you onto an airbrush machine, some type of cordless airbrush machine, and out of these three on the table, I recommend this one the best from Amazon. It's powerful. I've had it over a year. It's still working. Sprays a real strong spray. You can adjust the nozzle, adjust how you want the spray to come out. As you can see, I'm spraying up on a little bit of an angle. This one here, I can back and I can say that you will get a good spray from this. I'll put it down in the comments below. I'll put it down where you can get this one at and the exact one this is. It's also a USB charge. Also has a blue light at the bottom when it's fully charged. Has the blue light on. You might can see that right there, that blue light under there. So that's my tutorial on highlights. Like I said, use them lightly. Use them lightly. Thanks a lot, y'all. That's my review on highlighting and which product and which one you should use. Peace.